everything, right? And what is it? So first start with IoE, Internet of Everything. So Internet of Everything is actually the superset of Internet of Things, meaning the technical characteristics belonging to the IoE are also present in IoT, but not vice versa. Means there will be IoT, Internet of Things, but if you are using IoT, there will not be IoE. So it is a broader concepts definition strategically being initiated by Cisco, and it basically contains four main types of element that could connect with each other. First of thing that makes Internet of Everything is things. So comprises of those devices, sensors, actuators. This tends to either generate data or receive it from other sources, such as smart thermostats and other similar gadgets, right? So this is basically a use of when we use any Internet of Things, there we also need some kind of things. That thing could be a physical or non-physical also, right? So by this things, by this non-physical or physical things, we sense the data. We can take our data from that sensors, from that actuators or the devices, and then collect into it. And first process it, then collect it. So second is people. So when we used to make an concepts of IoE, so there is a special way that is not into IoT. Basically, IoT is only about the things, right? It is not about people, right? But IO is about the people. For the end node who exchange or share information through social networking sites, health and fitness sensors, and so on, right? So that is also included. Things will be there, peoples will be there, data is also there, is a new raw form which is analyzed and processed into meaningful information so that intelligent decision could be made, right? So that we need some data and other mechanism could be controlled. For instance, average number of high temperature hours each day could be calculated based on the input of temperature logs, right? Let's say what is the temperature of average temperature of today, right? So for today, all the temperature which is being taken that have to be stored first, and then take a mean or take an average of that and then store it, right? So that is what the actual need, that I need an average temperature of that. Let's say you want to forecast something, right? We have already a forecasting technique so that we can forecast some temperatures, right? And lots of things that we can predict also. So prediction or forecasting can be made with the help of data only, right? So that data should be analyzed first, and then the average information and the average data value is taken as a analyzed data, right? Because we cannot take you like I say that I have a company and that company has 50 peoples, 50 employees are there, and those 50 employees has a lakh rupees, or some of the people has 1.5 lakh rupees salary, right? Some people has 70,000, some people have 30,000 also. So I cannot tell you each and every people's salary in the count, but I can only say that the average salary is 80,000, right? All of the information, right? So you can actually take an idea that what kind of salary structure is here, right? You don't have to uh, you don't have any information, you should not have any information for that, for taking an idea that what is the salary structure of this company and all, right? You can take a basic you can take an basic ideas with the average of that salary values, right? So that is what we do with the data also. So whenever we take an information, we doesn't need to take an information in an exact way. right? Always we take information in some a round of values so that we can have an idea that what should have be, because if you're taking all the informations one by one, so means you have lots of information and you are reading, you are wasting your time, right? You are reading all the information and that data could be complex also. It doesn't think, it doesn't mean you'll always be taken only 3 or 4 data. You could have multiple datas, you could have thousand lakhs datas with you. So if you read all the data, it will not possible. What will do? You will do exactly that. You will take a mean of that data. You will take an idea of the information of that particular data. So what is the kind of data nature and what is the average value into it, right? So that is actually we do with the data. Next, with the processes. Processes are those to connect the things, people, and data in order to put more values, right? So in IoE, there is a processes, there is some algorithm, there is some systems also where we connect all things, people, and data to each other. For instance, using social networks and smart fitness devices in order to advertise relevant healthcare offering to the potential customers, right? So some of, let's say somebody has to lose their weight, right? So what they have done, they have, taken a fitness tracker, fitness device, and they started working on it, and the data has been collected to that fitness device, that you have lost your weight this, lost your weight. Now taking it as a more advantage, some of the companies takes those data, right, and gives you an ad that you need some complementary things, complementary, or some kind of complements that you need to take with food so that your weight loss has been rapidly done, right? And that is nothing, that's a kind of an information which has been taken by your side only. You have given that companies, and things to the people to the data, and data to the industry. It goes to the industries, right? And those industries are selling the products to you because of that information. And which, where this came from anything, right? Some of the information is generated by your blood circulations and all, right? So your weight is losing rapidly or not, it depends you are working out or not. And if you are working out, if somebody has to go to the gym, there is one recommended thing you always told by them, that you need to have some kind of complement proteins and all, right? With the rapid changes and all, right? If you put up your weights and all, you want to gain your weight, then there is also some kind of substitute, there is some kind of complements you will have to take. So these all things are basically connected to each other. Your data could be information for another people and they can sell your product to you because of all things. So this is basically comes with the Internet of Things. Your data is not only your data that you are working with, right? Your data would be the informations, right? And some of the companies, some like Google, if you are searching for anything in a Google, in the Google bar, simply like I want to search for the Dubai, right? I have written a Dubai. So they'll give you the information about the Dubai also, right? They'll provide you something where you can read about the Dubai and what are the visiting places in the Dubai. And as such, that searching that you have given to that Google is sent to the different companies also, so that they will sell you hotels. They will sorry they'll sell you some offers, right, for the hotels, like this hotel is in the mid of the city, and you have this kind of offers which is given by this hotel, right? So you can take a discount offers from that hotel. Second, they'll give you some, traveling agent, right? Ads. They'll start offering you something. So there are lots of things. So that data which you have given to the Google is not only yours. right? That data has been converted to the information to those people who are already involved into it. If the hotel industry, if the industry, aviation industries are involving in this to take you from your place to your Dubai, your visiting place, then lots of things has been happening into it, right? Lots of companies is taking benefit with it, right? Starting from cab services, we have a cab services over here in India, which will take you to the uh, airport first, and the airport, the airlines are also offering something. Then you'll go to the the place where you want to go. There is also some kind of offerings you'll be given, right? And the visiting places also, है so there are lots of industries are mixed up to each other, and the data you are actually giving them, you are not giving anything. You're only searching for yourself, but the data you have already given to the Google, and Google has spread it out to the different industries which are working in it. So this is called Internet of Everything. Right? Data starting or generating from anywhere else for somewhere else, but is taking a benefits by anybody else. Right? So they are not concerned with the data, but they are actually concerned with it with their products. Right? So they are working, and you are not tends to you cannot stop them to spread those data to the different people. Right? You cannot claim that why you send your data, my data to these, because you have allowed them. They have already taken permissions to you that whatever the data you will be giving is spread it out to the different people, different industries. Right. So the things is not actually yours. So IoT, starting from IoT, Internet of Things, that is only the benefits of yourself, but the IoE is a benefit of the whole industries and people and everything around who is in the world, living in this world, basically each and every people. So you can say IoT is the centralized version, you can say is the IoE. It's a centralized version, right? So Internet of Everything is a kind of ecosystem. We are making basically an ecosystem of end-to-end connectivity, which include processes, which includes technologies, which includes concept across all kind of connectivity use cases. There are many other subsets of IoE, such as Internet of Digital, Internet of Humans, Industrial Internet of Things, and the Internet itself. Right. So these all are the subset of IoE. Basically, IoT is nothing. It's a subset of IoE. Right. So IoE is everything. Yes, we are working on IoE. Right. So everything you need to be you have generated your data, and that data has to be spread it out all around the world to the each and every industries, each and every people. If you want, they'll take you the permissions. They'll take a permission from your side that yes, you wanted to spread your data, because you need offerings. Let's say you want to visit some places, you need offerings, of course. And how do you know which offerings is there or not? If some of the companies, you'll go to the different websites for checking out whether there is any offer or not for the for the flights, for the hotels, for the local cab services, for the visiting place, for the boating, and so on. There are lots of things you'll do, right? So let's say you have to take 4 to 5 days package. What you'll do first? So you'll do nothing. You'll just search on there, and each and every website you will open further that they'll especially give you some kind of ads over there that this is the thing. They'll give you packages. They'll give you anything what you wanted actually, and you just pick from there, and what do what you want, which kind of thing you want to select, that will be taking there. Right. So this is nothing. This is Internet of Things, right? And this is the information you have written only, right? But that information could be taken from any sensors also, right? If you have any real-time data, that is also a kind of IoT. IoT is also involved there. If you are searching of anything, it is not IoT because you are not doing this in a real time, right? But if you are doing this in a real time, means your data is generated from somewhere by any sensors or by any actions, by anything, right? And they gives you some, like, I am driving some car, right? And my speed is 140, 150, and you have got an ad of any, hospital industry, that you will have offering of this, that when, or any insurance industry, that if you purchase my insurance, if you purchase my this packages, so you'll get this benefits and all, right? So that is basically what happens. Your data is coming from your speed, and that is generated on internet, and the benefits of that data of that particular industry is taking benefits from that. The insurance companies are not, they're taking benefits. No, this is a scenario only, right? But the thing is, the data is generating from somewhere else, and you will be taking a benefits of different companies to you, right? So that could be generated with the help of Internet of Things. So here, people is involved, processes are involved, data are involved, and things are involved, right? Machines to machines. Here, there is a concept of machine to machine concept. It is a closed point to point connectivity between physical first object. These come under the IP based connections that enable the information transfer or exchange between the involved devices. Means there is an information which is circulated by machines to machines, starting from machines to the machines. Right. In these recent years, the technology emphasizes more onto those kind of communication in which human intervene to least, right? Where you don't have to do anything. The concept is basically human is not intervening anything. You don't have to write anything. All the things are working automated. Everything is automations. Means you are not doing anything. You are just chilling, and all the things is happening around you by itself. Let's say you want any coffee, and you put some timing into it, so it's already coffee's been generated, coffee's been made by machines, and it's came to you directly at your table. So that is nothing, that is a kind of machine to machine thing. So you have, what you have done, you have put your information that at that time I need a coffee, right, to the machines directly, and all processes has been happening automatically. Any machines is, any robot is making a kind of the process to make a coffee, right? And that coffee to from the kitchen to your table, you need a robot. So that robot will take the coffee cup to your table automatically. Nothing happens. So at that time, it's a daily routine. You can set as a daily routine that it will happen, and this will happen automatically, right? So this is basically machine to machine. You are only the first when you put your information, when you put your things into it in your machines, and in the lifetime situations, it will working as automatically, right? You don't have to invoke them every time that just do it, do it, do it, do it. No, that is basically machine to machine concept. That could be happens with the robotics, traffic controls, and all kinds of devices to devices connectivity, right? So in robotics, that we have taken already an example, that in robotics we have to put some commands into the robots that you'll have to do something. Like in industries, lots of the industries working with some kind of robots which works automatic, right? Like any automobile company. So automobile company has a larger robots, right? And they are working on a special command that somebody has to make some cars, right? Some industry is working on, assembling the car. So for assembling the car, there is no need of person basically. There are some robots has to be, installed, and that robot basically pick the heaviest or the heavier uh, anything like the car doors, car engines. It is very heavier thing, obviously. So any person will, lift that engine, lift that doors. So there'll be, I think, 2 or 3 or 4 people will be needed. But when you apply any robots to do that, so it will do it very quickly, and it will take more than 1 ton, 2 ton, 10 ton, 50 tons amount of weights can be lifted by them. And if those weight is lifted by them, that is one-time expense you spend there, right? So if any industry is taking one-time expense, right, means they are using it, and they are only service needed for some time, right? But that doesn't cost much, right? And they are taking benefits lots. If you go to the encounter, so you will be hiring 10 people to do that. An encounter, you are only using a robot who are doing all these things. But if you are comparing the salary itself, the robot will has the lower cost as compared to the salary of 10 people who are working. And they can be tired, but robot cannot. They need only servicing, and they'll be regularly working, right? So information is given once, and after that they'll be working in the throughout the time, and whatever changes you want to make, you can do it very easily, right? And they'll do it the another work. So location has to be stored, right? And something more, what kind of weight you will lift, that information you'll have to store into it, and after that it will be working. That is called machine to machine communication, or machine to machine working. So where machine is only involved into it. Human intervention is only one time at once for giving the data, nothing else. So it will be working with the robots for traffic control. Traffic control, again, you have put the command a single time. After that, it will be working, right? And for some seconds, so there are 4 traffic signals, and 4 traffic signal has been controlled with some different commands with different seconds, right? And whatever the seconds, whatever the minutes have been put it over there, accordingly they will be working. There is no human interventions to be needed, and all kinds of devices to devices connectivity, right? So this is basically machine to machine concepts. So machine to machine communication, or in IoT basically works with the sensors, right? So for sensing elements, there would be some physical objects. There would be any physical objects where it is sensing. Let's say some of the malls and all, they want to count their uh, footfalls, or the customers who are there for purchasing. They want to count them. And in a day, how many people are coming here in our mall for visit, for purchasing, or what, right? So they want to count. So they put a sensor at the gate of that, a mall, right? And taking the information that one person going in, second person going in, third person going in. So lots of people in a day is visiting that mall, right? And that sensor is counting all that people who is actually going inside that mall, right? So the sensors needs that particular data from you itself. It need not machines, right? It needs you to collect the data. If nobody's go to visit that mall, means the data would not be generated. So data will be generated because of the physical objects or physical activities. right? So physical activity or human is needed for IoT. If human is not there, we are making a concept because of human. The IoT concept is made for human or by the human. So if it is for the human, human is all human activity or human is needed. But for M2M, there is no needed of human, where machine can only uh, use their data for itself, right? So one machine needs to be connected to the another machine, and they'll share their data at the time to time basis, right? And they don't need any kind of human activities for that, right? That is M2M basically. Maintenance, point to point, maintenance is required obviously, right? If machine is there, machine is working, so there is a maintenance required. Point to point. So starting from here to another point, there is no any interventions or any breakage of the communication support and updates and hardware based. So each and everything is a hardware based, right? But in IoT, which is a things, obviously hardware is needed, but there is a lot of things is done by softwares, because the data gathering by the sensors to the devices is processed and compute by the devices obviously, but by the softwares you need programming, right? And integration systems, we need to integrate lots of peripherals, lots of devices into it, then we need some softwares. If there is a cloud system, obviously we need to make a cloud or some predefined cloud, which is also kind of software. Big data, we'll have to manage the data by the big data. It is also cloud. It is also a software, and the total things is done with the software based. Here, all of the things is done with the devices based or hardware based, right? Less programming or less cloud system is been over here, right? But here we are using a lots of software things, right? Devices are very less, but the software and the programming is very high, right? We are using very high programming in the web of things. It is a connected vehicles will be the example of, yes, of course. Connected vehicles will be the example of M2M. Okay. Connected vehicles means if any vehicle is connected to the another vehicle, then it will be example of M2M. But if the vehicle is connected by you and you are controlling that vehicle by yourself, by any source, by Wi-Fi or by the application, that will be a IoT, right? So if machine to machine connection means if one data is to be sent to the another machines directly, right? You have set it out, one machine is giving the data to the another device, then it will be M2M. There will be no any human intervention and nothing, right? It doesn't need a physical activities or physical changes into it, right? So then it will be not in IoT, it is M2M, right? And that is total hardware based. Okay. Web of things. Web of things refers to the set of standards formed by the World Wide Web Consortium to facilitate the interoperability, fragmentations, and usability of Internet of Things. In other words, it is a subset of Internet of Things and is built around software standard such as REST, HTTP, URIs to allow devices to interact with. Now come to the Web of Things. One, we have already know about Internet of Things. We already know about Internet of Everything, right? We know about M2M. Now come to the Web of Things. What is Web of Things? M2M is basically totally machine based, right? One machine is giving the information to the another machines, right? The same way we have web of things. Web of things is basically is a software based system where one application is giving the information to the another application. M2M and web of things is that's way connected, but they are different because M2M is machine to machine and web of things is basically the information which is circulated from one application to the another applications. So that is a software-based system. Hardware doesn't involve physical things involves, but they are communicating from one software to another software. So when the communication done with the software to software, it is called web of things, right? And how it is done? So what happens when you apply any application, when you have any application, when you use any application? So any particular application uses any particular kind of, uh, programming language. For making any application, you need a programming language, right? Could be Java, could be Python, could be C++, right? Could be .NET, right? So there are lots of programming languages by which you can make the application for the user end, right? And that application, if that application automatically sends the data to the another applications, right? It means it is done with automatically and from web to web. There is no data required. There is no human activity requires, no any human intervention required. The data is generated from one thing to the cloud to the application and from one application to the another application, right? Let's say I have an application and that application is taking our health records, right? So I have some health trackers in my home, or I have already, I have a smartwatch kind of. I have a tracking in what is the SpO2 rate, what is the breathing rate, what is the blood circulation rate, and all. Right. So all of the data is been generated into my smartwatch and is given. And smartwatch is also there is an application which is getting all those data, and it automatically sends to the another application when you installed any application related to this the smartwatch in your phone, right? So if you have installed something, install some kind of application which is related to this smartwatch, what will happen as the data is collected by the software which is into that hardware, into that smartwatch, is automatically, as you have connected this watch to that software, right? So by Bluetooth, it happens basically. So by Bluetooth, it will send your data from your hardware, and into that you have a software which is collecting your data day by day to the to the application you have installed in your phone, and it is done automatically. You are not doing it. You're actually not doing it. It's done automatically. Why it is done automatically? Because this is already a given path, right? When the application has been made, all of things, the sensors which is taking a data from your site is been stored, is been taken by an application, and that application is connected to your phone application, and then it is transferred to the phone application by the Bluetooth. Any connectivity would be there, but directly it will go to the another software. And there could be also possibilities that will go to the mail also, right? They'll send you data to the another platform, software platforms also, right? So that could be possibilities. It will be circulated by web to web, from one application to another to third another application, and fourth another application. Sometimes you'll get a mail that yes, you have this kind of record of your health, right? So you have written directly, only you have written the mail ID into it, and it will automatically generate a file and send to your mail ID. So it happens by web only, right? And the information is generated from anywhere else and is given to the another application, another application to another application to another application, and lots of. That is called a web of things, right? And this happens with the help of REST, HTTP, and URI, right? These all are involved. You know what is REST, what is HTTP, and what is URI? Can anybody tell what is REST, what is HTTP, and what is URI? Yes? Do you have any information?
Protocols.
Yeah, it's a kind of a protocol for sending your data or communicating your data from app to app, right? From app to app, from one app to another app. The REST is an API used for state transfer, right? HTTP is a protocol. So REST is also a protocol. REST is nothing. It's a kind of application. REST is nothing. It's an application, right? It is already an application. Let's say I have an application and somebody else want to use my application directly in their application. So what happens? Let's take an example, right? There is a lots of food companies, delivering companies are there. Like there is, you know, what you call them, Swiggy, right? There's a Swiggy, let's say. Swiggy and Zomato, what they do basically, they have they have made a channel with the different hotel, different restaurants, right? To take the order from the users and just give to them, and they generate the orders. They make that orders. They make that food, and then take a delivery, right, from there and left it to the consumer. Into this process, they have applied some different applications also. They have their own application, but in their application, one thing is very mandatory. When you get this, you can track them basically on your phone on their application, right? On their application, you have a map, Google Map, where you can track them where is your order and where is that person who is delivering, right? And you can call them, you can, if he's not aware of your location, so you can give them a note. So basically the location which you are finding over there with the help of Google Map, how they implemented that Google Map. So actually they have not implemented the Google Map. Google Map is already an application. Everybody is using in their smartphone a Google Map. If you want to go anywhere, if that location is unknown to you, you just open the Google Map and you can find the locations, how and where it is, and how do you go there, right? The same application is being used by that Swiggy and Zomato, and Uber also, and Ola also, lots of companies also. But can they make their Google Map application? No, they cannot make their own applications. They cannot make their own, Google Map application, because mapping is different thing. Google has made this map with the, 20 years or 10 years, hard work. They have collected information with different resources and then make this kind of Google Map, right? But can any other companies can make? Yes, any other companies can make, but not the normal, because normal companies, if they're making that, is cost very higher, right? So they cannot make that kind of application. So what they can do, if they wanted to implement in their application a Google Map, they do nothing. They just contacted with the Google and they take an API from that Google for that map only, that I want to use your map into my application. They take an API so that the map, whatever the map they'll be given, so is been integrated with your applications in their applications. Right? So Swiggy has integrated the Google Map application into their application. That is called API, Application Program Interface, where a program is interfaced with any applications. So here by REST API, REST is basically a kind of application which basically uses the same thing to communicate from one application to the another application. The same thing with the HTTP. HTTP also do the same thing. When an application, HTTP is a protocol, right? So REST is also used with the HTTP protocol. Not only the REST is using HTTP protocol, there are lots of protocols are there, right? Like socket protocol. There is a protocol is also called socket protocol. Socket protocol is the kind of protocol which is used for the real time or regular data, right? Regular data means if you go for the HTTP, what happens in the HTTP? Once the client wants to take an information from the servers, they'll connect to the servers, but as you connect the servers, the connection will be cut it out from there. You take the information, the connection is done. You have request, let's say you have requested google.com. So the first page you will be that will be appeared to you is Google searching page, right? And after that your connection will be dropped. And again you write something and then again you request, then again the connection will be opened, right? So every time when you request something and they respond something, after that the connection will be respond. Like I have opened this website, but my connection has been dropped because I have got the response. I have not requested anything. The connection is not waiting for you. Will not waiting for you that you will requesting something. No. When you request, it will be responding, but after responding, it will be the connection will be out. That is what the protocol of HTTP. HTTP always take a kind of a protocol which doesn't take your connection alive for lifetime, right? So it will get you the connection only when you are requesting something and they are responding something, only when. But I am asking a name to you. I am asking to you means I am requesting to you, and you have told your name, let's say, and after you tell your name to me, the connection is out. After that, again I'll request you, and again connection will be established, and after that, when you respond, again the connection will be out. The thing is, every time we are doing this, this is basically a temporary basis. The connection is established with a temporary basis, but there is one concept which is called web sockets. Web sockets is generated for the regular basis time, right? Because let's say there is IPL matches. In IPL matches, every time in a single second, the runs is updated to your website, to your applications. That run or that wickets or whatever is happening there is updating in a very less time of seconds. And every time, if there is a problem, that if the connection is lost is something, so that connection could not be again reconnected, right? So what happens, the connection could not be dropped out from there because of it doesn't works with the HTTP, it works with the web sockets. Web sockets take an request from the client and the connection will be established, and after the connection will be established, it will regularly and it will not drop it out, right? And the data from one side, from the server to the client, is regularly sending. You can directly send your data from by WebSocket protocol from the servers to the client regularly. The connection will not be cut it out. Right. So protocols of WebSockets and HTTP is different, right? So there are two protocols which we'll be using. So HTTP is more working because HTTP is very, the connection is when you cut out the connections, the another people can use it. The protocol is very efficient. The HTTP protocol is very efficient because it doesn't take lots of memory, right? If you're not the object of them, if you're not connecting to them, if you're not requesting to them, they'll not respond to you, right? So the connection is done, means there are some less people as there, and they're working in a simple mode, right? And there is not very harsh kind of processes are there. But the thing is, the web socket, if there is a web socket established the connection in between client and users, and they are taking lots of memory. So not each and every application are using web sockets. Only those applications which has a regular updation processes, they can only have this web sockets, right? Like stock exchanges, right? In stock exchanges, if you go through that stock exchanges and you will read their data, the data is updating in a second to seconds, right? So there they use web sockets in a matches and all. They also use web sockets for updating their data, right? So WebSockets protocol could be there, HTTP protocols could be there to exchanging the data from one web to another web, one application to another application. And why this is happening? Because the application which is made from one side to another side, right? Why API is used? API is used because of we cannot directly implement any application or directly integrate any application data into the another application. So the API concept came from, because let's say I have an application, I have made my application in Python, and the another application I want to integrate is made in Java, and the third application I want to integrate is made in .NET or C Sharp, right? I want to integrate all of the applications. How do I integrate? Because their technologies are different, their protocols are different. Each and every languages are working in the different protocols. They have different designs, they are different working things. So how they'll be integrated? So there will be a single way of working of APIs, an application intermediately, which will manage all of the data circulation from one application to another application, one to another application. They'll be circulated because of one application, that is called REST. REST is the same thing. REST is an application which manages all applications data from a single unit. That is called REST, right? So REST and URI is resource locator. It's a resource locator or indicator kind of thing, like URLs, right? Like URLs is basically a uniform resource locator, and likewise URI is also, but it's an advanced version of URLs, right? Where we have if you see that when you have any URL, this is the URL basically, right? URL is the location of resource that you want from your server. That is the URL, right? And each and every URL has lots of information. Like first of the information is about the server, right? What is the protocol, right? What is the server we are going to? This is the some information from where it is taking that information and all, right? So this is the total locations you are getting, and this is because of URL, right? And URI is the same thing, but in the advanced form. If you go for the URIs, it's nothing but it's an advanced form of URL. Right. So yeah, here we don't have any that kind of component that where is your server and where is your data. That doesn't require. It's a different thing, right? And here we have only scheme names, authority, path, query, and fragments. These are the things that are URI containing, right? URL is different, and URI is the upgraded version, or you can say advanced version of that thing. Right? So it doesn't a name, you don't have to take the locator name with the server name into it, right? So that is what the use of URI, right? And it works with a global locator system kind of. So HTTP, REST or URI, or you can say WebSockets also. WebSockets are also involved in this web of things because these protocols are used to take your data from one application to another applications, right? Okay. Now this is the layer wise information from web of things, that how one application is connected to the another application is to the another application. Like you have some data which is generated from these things. You have any QR code, you have anything in your home, right? With your any hardware, like this is Arduino, any bulb, any car, right? And the data which is gathered from here has been taken with Bluetooth, Zigbee, 345G network, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, thread, right? NFC, beacons, and QR. These are the way we can collect our data to the network, right? And that network will go to the another layer, which is basically made with HTML, webhooks, URL or URI, gateways, WebSockets, proxy, right? MQTT, COAP, HTTP, REST APIs, and JSON. This is the second layer, right? Where data is being processed with that kind that you have taken, and then REST crawler, web things model, RFD, heaters, search engines, right? Schema, org, link data, Sigma link header. It is this is the next layer where the data has to be processed from one app to the another. This is the a single app, right? And these are the connectors. These are the connectors to connect it with the another app, right? And third is social networks, API tokens, TLS, delegated authentications, JWT, social WT, encryptions, and all. This is the third layer where you apply it, and it it can make different kind of encryptions into it, right? So in two layers, we are basically processing our data in different ways, right? In a social networks, right? In a TLS, in encryption mode, in authentication mode, and all. So this is the data which is used to process for sending the data to the another application, because it cannot be directly sent to the another applications. It should be encrypted first, right? It should be connected first from that link which is generated here, and then converted into this. This is a connection way, right? And then encryption way, and then it in the fourth way you can compose it, right, into the different applications, right? So first network thing, access thing, it is used to access the data which is coming from network thing. And the finding is where it is finding your data, like searching engines and all, right? And then share your data, this is for sharing. And then composing your data, right? In the this is deployment mode. Composing means you are deploying your data into an application. That is your deployment, right? So these all steps are involved with this web. Why do we need the web of things? So there are no doubt that the internet of things has made things easier for us, but is also bring in complexity as the number of devices around us increases. Our number of devices of in used with the internet of things has been there are lots of devices we are using, and as we are using lots of devices, the complexity is higher, right? And one of the significant hurdles in the widespread adoption of IoT has been the difficulty to communicate and managing all these devices, right? All the devices, if you manage from one single unit, we cannot do it, right, directly. So if we have 10 devices, we need 10 applications to manage, because there would be 10 applications, there would be a lot of data from that devices. To communicate with your 10 devices, you need 10 mobile applications, let's say. And this won't be convenient as you will have to switch between one app to another app. Unfortunately, this is happening with most of the IoT devices now. Right? We are using the same thing. If we have multiple devices, we have multiple applications to control them. Right? We cannot do this with a single applications. This can be done with a single application by the help of Web of Things only. The worst part is that most of these IoT protocols and standard aren't compatible with each other. And for reason the IoT hasn't been able to actualize its full potentials, and connecting devices to internet and giving them IP addresses is the only first step towards the Internet of Things, as it facilitates data exchanges. So by Internet of Things, we are giving IP address to each and every applications. There are every application, they have their own IP addresses, and it's facilitated with the data exchanges. However, it doesn't guarantee that device understand what it means, right? So if we are exchanging data from one application to another application, it doesn't mean if you're sending data they'll understand it, because the format could be different, right? If you are generating, if you are storing any data from to any application, so it has different format. So if any format is given to the another application, that also supports different format. So data exchanging from one web to web, another web or web applications would be very difficult if the formatting is not same, right? And if it is not necessary that each and every web application has the same format. As I told you that each and every web application could be made with the different programming languages, and their formattings could be different. So that can be only done with these application to application interfacing, which is REST and WebSockets and URI also. That is why we need something like HTTP, a universal way to transfer data in text, images, sounds, and other media elements, so that the devices communicate with each other. The Web of Things, or WAT, is what fills the vacuum by using and adopting web protocols to connect anything in the physical world and gives it to the presence on the World Wide Web. Right? So this is why we need Web of Things. So here we need Web of Things because of communicating data inside the web, right? Inside the applications. So Web of Things is easier to program, faster to integrate, simpler to prototype, and easier to maintain large system. Obviously, Web of Things is nothing, it's a part of IoT. If you are implementing any IoT and you are taking your data to the web, and from one web to the another web, from one application to another application, this is Web of Things, right? Where HTTP protocol, right, and these WebSocket protocols is to be used, right? API protocols is to be used, which is again a very a larger integrating system, right? Internet of Things is more lightweight, optimized, and more based of hardwired solution. When you use Internet of Things only, so you can store your data on your servers, but you cannot, share your data from one protocol to another protocol, where web protocol could be needed, right? Web of everything. The same thing, as we have Internet of everything, as we have Web of Things. So when we connect all of these things, that will be converted into Web of everything, right? Again, the same thing. We have already taken an example that you have generated a data that will be given to the another companies to their servers, and one to the another servers, and different application. If your data is spread out in the different applications, that is called Web of everything. It could be a ad way, like some companies given you advertisement for their product because of your requirement. You have sent some requirement on the web on any other application, but it's sent to the another applications automatically, and they have given you some product recommendations, and they have given you advertisements of their product. That is nothing, it's a web of everything. right? The web of everything is a concept that extends the Internet of Things and web of things to encompass all types of digital and physical objects that are connected to the Internet. And this includes not only traditional IoT devices such as sensor actuators, but also computers, smartphones, wearable devices, and even cars, homes, and cities. Right? The web of everything is built on the same principle of web of things, using web technologies to enable these devices to communicate with each other in a standardized way. Right? There is obviously when you use web systems or website system, there will be a defined protocol. HTTP is a defined protocol, right? REST is a defined protocol. WebSocket is a defined protocol. These all are the defined protocols, right? So actually, we are doing this for the data, and that data is working in a defined protocol. So that standardized protocols we can generate with web of everything, and this creates a unified network to connect device that can exchange data to interact with each other seamlessly. Benefits of WoE. One of the key benefits of WoE is the potential to transform a wide range of industries and applications, right? So it can transform a wide range of industries and application, from healthcare to transformation to energies and agriculture. Obviously, right? Already we have seen that there is each and everything when we connect around the application which is needed for something, right? Healthcare, transportations, energies, and agriculture. If all the need of today, what we are doing is the need of everything, right? We cannot tell I don't have a need of energy, I don't have a need of transportation, I don't have a need of healthcare, or I don't have a need of agriculture. So obviously those all are connected to each other. If those are connected to each other, and if the data is different, so how do we collect those all data and compile them in a together way? Because of WoE. We can do it by WoE because it is web of everything. So you have cloud system, you have server systems where you can take the data each and every fields and collect them in a single unit, in a single where you can analyze them also. Each and every data can be centralized to a single system, a single storage system, and that can be analyzed together, and we can make the smart decision by it. By connecting all this type of devices and system, the web of everything can enable more efficient and effective operation while also creating new opportunities for innovations and growth. Challenges. What are the challenges when we apply web of everything? The web of everything also presents significant challenges, particularly in the area of data privacy. Obviously, in the web, this is basically the very, you know, problematic thing when we apply any data onto the web services. Right? When you have any data in your web, you'll always be in threat that it will be stolen anyhow, right? Like I have, my bank account, and I use net banking, and I'll be always, scared about it that it will be stolen if somebody has stolen my password, or my phone, or my bank account has been hacked. What happened? This will be all finished, right? Every time anyone who has left their data into the website or any servers or any cloud, they'll always be in, threat. So this is the bigger problem. This is the big challenge for the web of everything, that if we are taking any data from the different sector in a single unit or anywhere else, the chances is, if those data has been taken, the security should be that much higher. If not, means all of the things could be, vanished. It could be finished. So privacy, security, and interoperability is must. And as more devices and systems become connected, ensuring that the data is protected and the device can communicate with each other securely and reliably with become increasingly important. Right? Overall, all the web everything represents a major step forward in the evolution of internet, enabling greater connectivity and collaboration between all type of digital and physical objects. However, realizing its full potential will require ongoing investment and innovations. right? So we'll be always ensuring that when we are applying any data and we are applying lots of money into it, so the result will be in our favor, right? If it is not, if we are not able to utilize it, then there'll be a wastage, right? So the thing, if we are investing some time, if we are investing money, if we are investing our spaces, right? So the proper innovations and proper the way of return of investment could be there, should be there, and as well as commitment of addressing the complex technical and social challenges that it presents. Obviously, social challenges is also present there, and some technical challenges is also present there. So this is the way we use web of everything, right? Where we need IoT, where we need web of things, where we need internet of things, web of things, and internet of everything, and that all compiled with the web of everything, right? So if it is all done,
Thank you, sir. Now we are having a tea break.
okay,
Next session will start at 4.
okay, fine, fine.
All participants are requested to please on the camera. We can so that we can take a group photo. Ritesh Kumar sir,
Yes, yes, wait, wait.
क्या स्क्रीन शेयरिंग आपका क्या स्टॉप कर सकते हैं हम?
Yeah, of course, you can.
All the participants are requested to please on the camera so that we can take group photo. Feedback link is shared to the group. Please fill the feedback. And our next session will start at 4 p.m. sharp. Session will be on SDN for IoT. Thank you.